welcome to Lux Unfiltered. As you can tell, today is a difficult day. We are recording from the couch. We are in a lot of pain, but we are not making it perfect and we're doing it anyway. So if you're here, listening, watching, I appreciate you. We are trying not to be perfect today. So incoming incredible voicemail from your online bestie in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here's the deal. I have so many ideas, beautiful, chaotic, dopamine-fueled ideas, and they live in my notes app or in my voice memos or on a random scrap of paper or in my head at 3 a.m. And yet most of them don't ever see the light of day. Why? Because somewhere between a burst of excitement and the actual execution, there's a little gremlin in my brain whispering, but it's not ready yet. And if it's not ready, it doesn't get published. And if it doesn't get published, it never really exists. This is what we're talking about today. The cycle of self-abandonment when it comes to creative projects. Why do I let myself get perfectionism, burnout, and executive dysfunction, and they all keep me from making things real? Why do I think everything needs to be fully formed before I let it be seen? And more importantly, how the hell do I break up with this loop? So if you're also someone who starts a million things and struggles to finish them, welcome. We suffered together today. So let's get real. This whole everything must be polished and perfect before it's worthy of existing thing, yeah, it started really young for me. Nothing was immediately ever good. It was always, why don't you tweak this? You could improve that. And yeah, maybe the intention behind all that was to be helpful, but my little neurodivergent brain didn't hear helpful. It heard not good enough over and over and over. And now, as an adult, that voice has mutated into an internal quality control department from hell. My New York trip that I wanted to document didn't get all the footage I wanted, so it's in my drafts. The guide I wrote for my CBD business didn't have the energy to make it pretty, so they're in the drafts folder. Half my podcast ideas, they exist in a sea of notes waiting for me to get the right energy to execute it. All in my drafts. I'm hoarding my own ideas and potential like a dragon hoards gold. And part of the problem is I feel like I have to create something that has to be a success. And my brain made success mean virality or nothing. Like if it doesn't blow up, it didn't happen. What? This is the weird intersection of perfectionism and capitalist productivity culture and neurodivergence. Perfection tells us it's not good enough, and productivity tells me it's not monetizable, so why bother? And my neurodivergent goes, yeah, no, you're exhausted. We're not doing any of that. And so here's the truth. Everything feels unfinished, but that's not the reason to not publish it. It's to do it anyway, right? The whole make it exist now, but make it look perfect later mindset is really what got me to start this podcast. I don't over-edit my voice. I don't cut human moments out. And I let myself not spiral into this like, oh my God, this isn't good. I still struggle with a lot of those areas. And part of that struggle is executive dysfunction. I get dopamine bursts that make me want to create everything all at once. But the minute that goes away, the project just stalls. It's a whole pile of like, look at all the shit I started but never finished. And I feel like a failure. And what's wild is doing that isn't even the hard part. Starting is the hard part and finishing is even worse. I think part of why this is happening is my brain rewards the idea more than the execution. So if I've written it down, my brain goes, yep, you did that, and gives me the dopamine, and then I don't actually do it, which is also really rude, honestly. So what's the solution? I think it comes down to tricking my brain into thinking execution is as fun as like the ideation. So how do I actually get things done from the drafts folder and into the real world? Well, a few things I'm trying is the one take rule. So if it can be done in one take, then it's done. I don't overthink it and there's no endless revisions. It just exists. The lazy but done method. If making something look perfect is stopping me from posting it, then it doesn't need to look posted. It doesn't need to look perfect. I'm just going to do it. And then the low energy bridge. If I don't have the energy to do something fully, what is the smallest, easiest step I can take? Can't edit a full guide? Well, I'll just post the rough version. Or no energy for a full video, I'll just do a voice note. And If I don't want to be on camera, I'll just put B-roll and text. My goal is to lower my barrier between the idea and the execution. And honestly, it's also that I need a production partner, someone who holds me accountable and helps me batch my content and just make things feel a little less lonely, I guess, because body doubling is a game changer for me. And I know that when I have someone there, shit actually gets done. So maybe this episode is also a little cry for help. If you're listening and you're like, hey, I love organizing chaos, let's work together, hit me up, because honestly, I think I just need another neurodivergent gremlin to co-create with. So here's a summary of what we just talked about. Perfectionism is a liar. Success isn't about virality. It's about consistency. And if we don't put things out there, they don't exist. Lower the barrier, publish the imperfect thing, make it exist now, make it perfect later. And if you've been struggling with this too, consider this your permission slip to hit publish on something you've done today. Put out the draft, just make the world see what you've worked on. And if you're down to be my productive partner, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Okay, I love you. Bye.